you could totally do that. He's like fairly tough. You look at the base health, right? 10, 10, 8, 6. You got the Tinkerer at 8, the Mind Thief at a 6 over here as well. So Cragheart is tanky, but they're quite cool. Again, with my friend who plays this guy, he whips out heals, he does all kinds of stuff. I have not played the Mind Thief at all. Difficulty high, melee combo plus control / summoner. Oh yeah, there's summon abilities here. As a Tinkerer, I've got quite a few summons that I can do. But yeah, I haven't actually played with the Mind Thief. We like take this opportunity to take a look at these like extra little characters over here, for example. Now, when you've got your characters picked, there's also your spells over here. So 10 of 10 equipped, this is what the Brute would bring into battle, but we can switch it around. Like, Wall of Doom wasn't the spell we saw before. Let's say, you know what? I really don't like Shield Bash. I don't know, I would say that. Shield Bash is amazing. But I could deselect it and pick Wall of Doom instead. Doom! So these are all our level 1 abilities as well. Well, at the bottom of the card, right? Leave this up? No. So let's say at the bottom of this card, it's got the little number 1. Most of these say number 1. There's also these X's. The way it works is the default is your hand. So the 9 cards we've got here, they're 9 level 1 cards. But you do have the option of swapping out some amount for these like level X cards. X ones tend to be a little bit weirder, but potentially potent. So you even at level 1, you've got the ability to sort of tune your characters. So for example, if I went here and swapped you for the Tinkerer, which is a class I know, which is why I'm talking about it. I love Potent Potables. First of all, favorite character on Jeopardy, right? Of course, Potent Potables. Potent Potables, when you use this in battle, your next 4 heal actions give +2 heal. This is how you become a turbo healer as the Tinkerer. Next 4 heals, heal for 2 more, which is a lot. And also, so the way it works on this card here, I can't mouse over it. In real life, on the card, there's like these 4 little slots, and you use a little marker to keep track of it. And then when it goes off the last marker, that's when you burn the card. But you also get XP. So every second heal, so your second and your 4th heal actually gets you an XP. So this card dramatically increases your heal and gives you XP. But again, because it's burned, and you'll see this a lot on a lot of the Tinkerer's cards. I find card management on Tinkerer is challenging, but oh so interesting. So yeah, I like that. And then you combo this with a bunch of heals, like we got Restoring Mists and Revigorating Elixir is amazing. At the top is a heal, a ranged heal, so you can use it over and over, it doesn't burn. The bottom is 1 adjacent ally may recover all their discarded cards. And then the one that returns the burned cards might be one that you get later when you level up. We've also got Volatile Concoction over here. 1 ally within range 2 may recover 1 of their discarded cards. This doesn't actually burn the card either. So between Volatile Concoction and and Reinvigorating Elixir, you give your allies a lot of ways to get their discards back, and I love this aspect so much. You know, maybe it's biased, right? You're always going to kind of love whoever you end up with kind of randomly, generally speaking, because you make them yours. I random the Tinkerer. I love this class so much, and I'm dying to get back to our real life games. But hey, maybe it's not so bad anymore, because now I can just go back to playing Gloomhaven with my buddies once again, which is going to be really lovely. So anyway, this is how you would set up if you skipped everything from the start. I thought it would be a little overwhelming to just jump right into this, but then once you're sort of happy with your party, how do you start? Oh, right, I gotta pick items here. Eagle-Eye Goggles, so good. So we're starting with Eagle-Eye Goggles here. So you sort of tap it, you exhaust it, you use it up. And on that attack, you gain advantage for the entire attack actions. So again, when you actually roll for damage, you draw 2 cards and pick the best one. And it applies to the entire attack action, which means you can use Eagle-Eye Goggles before you do an attack of opportunity. Sorry, not attack of opportunity. An AoE, an area of effect attack, right? So like our Ink Bomb that hit 3 players, use the Eagle-Eye Goggles, and for each enemy that you hit, so for all 3 enemies, you draw 2 cards, take the best one. Draw 2 cards, take the best one. Draw 2 cards, take the best one. And all of these that have the little this sort of turn it sideways to exhaust symbol, this sort of tap symbol, if you take a long rest, which we haven't done yet, you get to restore them, which is great. So we've short rests, take all the cards in your discard pile, throw 1 away, put the rest back in your hand. Long rest, take all the cards in your discard pile, choose one to throw away, put them back in your hand, and heal 2, but it consumes your entire turn. So it's, fairly costly, but there's some fun timing things. And on a long rest, you also get back your items, which is just dandy. If I had money, we could buy more items. That's the thing. In between missions, you go back to town, you do some shopping, you buy more items for different things. It's really, really, really good. What are you, Oh, I have a resonant crystal. During your turn, destroy an adjacent obstacle. Ooh, bind. I don't know if I want to do that right now. Oh, that is interesting. Merchant. Trainer. Oh, achievements. I haven't actually, I played the Guildmaster update when it first came out, but there have been so many continuous changes to this game, it's crazy. What I'd probably want to do, though, how much time we got? We got time for one more mission. Excellent. Let's go and continue our... Oh, there we go. Quill and paper adventure. Let's keep this going. Scoundrel needs an invisibility cloak. They're starting arm as a joke. Yeah, but there's a lot. The thing is, Scoundrel's pretty hard to kill in general, even though they have very few hit points. They have a built-in invisibility ability. They have massive mobility, huge amount of movement. The Scoundrel and the Spellweaver both have crazy movement. The Spellweaver mostly because he's got the one ability that moves up to 8 squares as a jump. But not as many. Spellweaver mostly has the one big one, and the Scoundrel has like 3 of them. Go to Tomb of Horrors here. Yeah, general long rest, no enemies around, otherwise short rest. Yeah, I also find a lot of times, depending on the situation, I will often, with my Tinkerer, because I have such a hard time managing my cards, I tend to burn through them too fast. Sometimes I intentionally long rest to literally spend a turn doing nothing so that I don't use 2 extra cards. Like, I could short rest, but I'm gonna long rest just to stretch my cards out a bit. Because yeah, if there's no enemies around, you don't want to take a turn where it's like, well, I guess I'm gonna pick 2 cards and not really do anything with them. Like, that's pretty miserable. Since card managing, we haven't really seen it, but it is a big deal. All right, the Tomb of Horrors. Hey, I've played this module. It's real bad, you guys. The D&D reference. The Keeper meets you at the entrance of the temple, where many of the acolytes look fearfully towards the building. She explains that portals have opened in the crypts, and although you have a holy symbol capable of closing them, no one is brave enough to enter the crypt. She gives you the artifact and explains, you will need to remain in the crypt for some time, and then the symbol will close and dispel the portals. Good luck. Ooh, this is going to be waves of enemies? A lot of the scenarios in the actual book for the physical game have almost all of them have some sort of special rule going on, and there are more than a few that constantly summon more bad guys as you go. This game is fantastic. I've talked about Gloomhaven like how many times in the past because it's just one of my favorite games. Absolutely. The crypt is bathed in unholy light. Look at this attractive fellow right over here. Emanating from the mysterious portals in the corners of the room. You brace yourselves for a battle against whatever evil may come through. So I was going to say, it was hinted that this would be a mission with the Spellweaver and the Tinker. So we're back in our initial save. So we're still in sort of, again, it's not in a tutorial, but it's still in the sort of intro thing. So we've got this scenario happening. So what do we got here? We've got living bones, and then a living corpse. Oh yeah, the living corpses tend to move really slowly. You can see their base movement on their character sheet is 1. But I'm trying to remember, does the living corpse, does it have the exploding power? I feel like it might. We've got some... Oh, that's a spawner over there. Okay, so it doesn't look like we have any treasure. Oh, right there. A little bit of treasure right back there. We got a couple of traps. We got these guys. How are we going to deal with this fight? I'm assuming the spawner is not something we can stand on and block or anything silly like that. We just have to survive 3 rounds in here. We're not in a really good place for an AoE. Nothing's grouped together, so I think we want long-ranged attacks, probably, right? There's a reason this top-ranked game on Board Game Geek and it's been there for at least a year or 2 years. Yeah, like, it's so highly rated all the time. I know when you're looking at the physical version of the game, especially, people like tended to balk at the price, but it's like you don't understand how much gameplay there is in there. But now we have this digital version. As a reminder, it's 32% off until Monday, I think. So, you know, today or tomorrow, 32% off on Steam. You can follow link, do !Gloomhaven in the chat. This is a sponsored stream, of course, but you can pick it up. I think it's under 20 bucks Canadian right now. So even if all 4 of your friends picked it up, it would be a heck of a lot cheaper than the physical version. And I think, is it the 4-pack option? Oh, there's not the 4-pack option. Come on! Get with it, you guys. Yeah, this promotion ends in 48 hours. So, jump on it. If we could get an element imbued, Mana Bolt would be pretty good. Single target damage, it's pretty good. Oh, something to note that might catch you off the first time you try to play this game. You cannot use an element that you created on your turn. You can't be like, first make an element, second use the element. You can't do it. If you make an element, the next person who goes can use it, but otherwise you'd have to wait until the next round. But if the Tinkerer can create an element, literally any one, then the Spellweaver can consume it. Toxic Bolt's not bad. 1, 2, We'd have to move. Unless... Do we just take a really slow turn? Because these guys are all going to try to shamble towards us. This one here might reach the Spellweaver, because it's 1, 2. I can move around. Actually, if I do this... 1, 2... Now, still, there's no way for us to not be within 2 tiles of one of the living bones. But I guess it's not the end of the world. This guy might be able to move up. If for some reason they get like a move 3 action for some reason, they could go here and multi-attack, which would be awkward. So you're on the game, but I mean, I don't think you're going to be disappointed. This is a sponsored video, but I tend to agree to do things that I think are awesome. Range 3, 1, 2. Okay. Fire orbs. We could hit up to 3 people. All these guys might move up enough to get in melee. Most likely the living corpse won't. Enemies won't intentionally walk through traps, so he's going to treat this as an obstacle, so he'll probably walk around this way. Most likely it's only 2, unless I move up into the middle of the room, and then I could fire orb all 3. I'd also channel fire, which I could use on my next turn. I'm wondering if we just use the bottom of Reviving Ether, just some sort of generic move in some way. We'll be able to pick it up later with a short rest, and at that point, because we want to use Reviving Ether as late as possible, so it recovers maximum number of burn cards. I think I like this. I'm still going to go fairly slow, because I don't want to move into the middle of the room before these guys do. We're going to go as more or less as slow as we can go. All you and your adjacent allies get +1 attack to all your attacks this round. Maybe. Reviving Shock would be a range 3 attack. I think I like this. I'm going to Enhanced Field and Reviving Shock. And let's see what we can do with this. Maybe we picked wrong. Maybe we didn't. But at some point we have to make a decision. Oh my god, the skeletons are going slow. Seriously? Because normally these are like Jason and the Argonaut skeletons. They like move super fast because stop motion is hard work. I feel like we got a little bit screwed here. And by a little bit, I mean a lot. Because my Tinkerer literally won't be able to attack anyone. I thought for sure they would go before us. I have chosen poorly. I mean, I may as well still do this. That's true, I only need to survive, but I, want to whittle these numbers down. They're completely out of range. I have, Damn, Tinkerer. You don't need a healing potion, so I guess that's going to be okay. By the way, consumables, so healing potions are not sort of consumed between fights. If you look at the card, when I get back to the Tinkerer and we look at the healing potion, it does have a symbol. Basically, basically it's burned. I can't It's not a sort of exhausted like tap kind of effect on a healing potion. It's only one per fight, but after the fight, I get it back, and we can use it in future encounters. So you don't have to worry about like saving your consumables for the campaign or anything like that. Okay, well, we're definitely going to do a move here. Now, if I move to here, 1, 2, 3, that's going to be perfect, because if I do this, I'm still going to be adjacent to the Tinkerer, which I want because of the enhancement field. And now, if I Fire Orb, oh! Skip the rest of the movement. I'm like, oh my god, what am I doing wrong? If I Fire Orb, all 3 of these are now within range, and I've got a +1. We're moving a little bit forward here, and that's not ideal, but at least they've all gone this turn, so that's going to be okay. And if I pull any +1s out of my deck, and we can look over here. So in my deck, I've got 5 +1s. So it looks like I have maybe a 1/3 chance of pulling a +1. If I pull 1 on any one of these attacks, it will kill, that target. +1! +0. Let's say, didn't I target? +1! Oh! The RNG gods are good! Okay. So, I mean, it wasn't great that my Tinkerer didn't get to do anything, but it turned out we had a pretty good turn anyway. So that kind of worked out. Yeah, making a note here, huge success. So you can see the fire element is waning. It's sort of only half filled because it was strong on the turn when it shows up. Then at the end of the turn, it goes to waning, and if it doesn't get consumed this turn, it will get used up. I do like that there's a little, combat log and everything over here. Really nice to double check your stats. Since there's an element, it means I can consume it for a mana bolt. Not a lot of good opportunity for freezing Nova. It is interesting that it's got a heal available. Flame Strike doesn't do much. Well, it's great that Flame Strike on its bottom has an attack. However, there's no one in range for that. Now, the living corpses, by default, they do move 1. They're not technically too fast. He did move 2 last round. If he moves 2 again, he could potentially move up and hit me, which would be unfortunate. But I think what I'm going to do is I will sort of hope that maybe the Flame Strike will come in. Worst case scenario, we just use the bottom of this as a generic move. We might be able to use the bottom for an attack. We'll also queue up the Mana Bolt, and we'll go on a 36 to try to delay it. In case the Shambling Living Corpse goes fast enough, probably he won't. I don't think we've got any pushes or anything like that for the traps. It would be nice to pick up some of this gold from our kills, though. We do have a pull available with the hook gun. Range 3 pull. We could move to here, try to hook this guy onto the trap. I'm not convinced it's a winning move, though. What I'm wondering is, stun shot? Well, depending on, they might group up. We might be able to AoE a little bit here, but I can't guarantee it. A stun shot wouldn't be too bad. We could use it to maybe kill the living corpse. We might be able to use it to just stun someone. Wouldn't be too shabby either. I don't feel like I need to heal anything. Oh, it's too bad I don't have the recover 1 discarded card ability, because that would be perfect to use right now on my buddy. I don't think there's enough in there for us to justify doing the recover all discarded cards. Oh, whiskey and chocolate. Thank you very much, Halko. We're going to do a read of that as well as the all the resubs. Oh, yeah, there was a little bit in there. Does this mean the cake isn't a lie? We'll do a read of the resubs in between games. We're going to do this for another 10 minutes, and then we're going to switch over to Crusader Kings 3. Yeah, I'm talking about using the bottom part of Flame Strike. Sorry. Although, hold on, that is interesting, because I could use Flame Strike and consume the fire to do a wound, which would add damage over time. The advantage of Mana Bolt, it's range 3. Flame Strike's only range 2. It might... I mean, most likely we'll be able to use it on someone, but either way it's going to kill someone. Yeah, so I'm talking about using the bottom of Flame Strike and the top of Mana Bolt. I don't know what to do with the Tinkerer. What I might do is just queue up Toxic Bolt and Stun Shot. Toxic Bolt, we could use the top or the bottom for damage. And Stun Shot, we can use the top for damage and the bottom for a big move if we want. It gives us a little bit of flexibility. let's do this. And again, I'm still trying to be a little slow here. Wouldn't surprise me if we refer. The skeletons... okay. So tied initiative here with the skeletons. That's okay. What are they going to do? Oh, the skeleton's not going to move. He's going to try to melee, except there's no one in melee range. And then he's going to heal himself, which is important to note. If we hit the skeleton without killing it, it's not going to go down. Also, annoyingly here, we could poison the skeleton, which would prevent the heal from taking place. All right, so with the Tinkerer, I can't do anything unless I move first. So we are going to be doing a move, and I don't think there's any reason to use the stun shot versus the toxic bolt. Toxic bolt, I think, is going to be better unless we're really concerned about stun. What the living corpse is going to do? They're going to move 2 and attack. So really what we'd like to do is we'd like to kill this living corpse or move our Spellweaver before it moves. This guy can't actually do any damage. He's going to move here and then there on his action, and he goes last no matter what. We could just kill this guy. We can also get a kill here, which is fine. I'm actually thinking about dropping a poison on the living bones. Oh, here's an interesting thing. The living bones is going to be stuck on here. He's not moving. We don't want him to die. But we're not going to kill him. I think I like this. I think I'm just going to move, what's it, range 3. Well, actually, I think I'm going to move onto the treasure with my Tinkerer, and I'm going to shoot the living bones. It'll do 2 plus whatever damage and poison. When he tries to heal, he'll purge the poison, but he'll still have the damage, and then we can just kill him on the next turn. Alternatively, I could move the range on Toxic Bolt. Oh, it is 3. I could move to here. Just shoot this guy. It'll hit him for 2 and poison, so he takes more damage in future attacks. We'll just ignore the living bones. He can heal himself for 0. Yeah, I think I like that better. No. He's actually moving 0. So the living bones has a base movement of 2. This card you're seeing is calculating in the move. I'm 99% sure. Like, if we look at the living corpse here, his card is going to move him 2. It's just his normal move. Or it's actually, his card is a move plus 1 card, is what this is. Again, I'm 99% sure that that's the case, that the skeleton's going to move. I might be wrong, but I don't think so. I think I'm going to take this move. Let's just commit to this. And yeah, I mean, you know, it's a game where you're going to think about a lot of things. It doesn't mean it's quite as slow as I play it. Especially while doing commentary, but to be honest, I probably wouldn't be faster by myself anyway. I'm gonna whack on this guy. Hey, we rolled a +1, nice. Oh yeah, before we end the turn, so you see the healing potion, it's got the sort of cross out on the card. That means when we use this healing potion, it is consumed. It's not gonna come back on a rest, but it will come back after the mission. No reason to use the healing potion right now, so we'll just end the Tinkerer's turn. It's gonna be okay. Living Bone's gonna sit there, attempt to melee next to him, but there's no one there. He's gonna heal himself for 0, and he doesn't move. Told ya. Told ya. It's just I've played this game before. So we don't have anyone in range 2 right now. We could mana bolt someone as is, which is likely to be the case because these guys are going to move, and right now this shambling, or I keep calling him shambling corpse, living corpse, is going to shamble over here and try to whack me. So I want to kill this guy or just move away from him. But I think we kill him now. And then this guy, actually this guy's going to move and attack here. Never mind. I got to kill this living corpse. So we're going to take the bottom of this card as a generic move. Doesn't really matter which one of the 2 I use to kill at all. Because they're both going to do 3 damage. So I'm just going to move to here. And then we need to top here. Now, really, so Mana Bolt, if I don't consume anything, it's going to do 2, plus 1 because this guy's poisoned, which is 3 already. But the thing is, the fire's going to go away at the end of this round anyway. So I'm going to specify that I would like to consume the fire, which makes this a 4-point attack, which means even if I draw my -2 card, I'm still going to kill him. Because it's going to be 2 plus 1 plus 1, which is 4, -2, which is 2, which kills. The only way I won't kill him is if I draw my miss, which is possible. It's in the deck somewhere. But fingers crossed. +0. There you go. Hit him for 4. Massive overkill. End turn. This guy's going to shamble over to here or here. There we go. Done. Ah! Damn. I didn't know the rules. I was hoping because this guy was standing on the spawner that it wouldn't spawn something. No, it'll just spawn the adjacent square. I'm very sad. Okay, I mean, we've survived 2 rounds. We've got to survive this one, which seems like it should be fine. What could possibly go wrong? What I might focus on is things that give me XP and things that give me gold for this one. There's going to be a lot, dude, including we've got here a elite living corpse. So he's got more hit points and he hits a little bit harder, but that's about it. I think that's going to be okay. We got 2 gold over there. Now, Ride the Wind, the top of Ride the Wind does have a ranged 1 pickup, but we don't have the movement to get there. Actually, let's just short rest right now. Yeah, well, that's fine. You know what? That's okay. We're not needing the ether, because now what I could do is at least I have the range. I could Ride the Wind to here and then attack this dude. Only one of these guys is going to attack me because the trap here will actually protect me. One will move up and maybe hit us, but we shouldn't die. I think that's going to be okay. Ride the Wind, and yeah, we'll have a mana bolt. And actually, what happens if I go later? I could go on an 83, but then we might just get obliterated by all these living corpses. I think we want to go fast, so we'll go at the 7. Oh, there's all my cards. Be nice to get a percentage breakdown. So we'll move to here, we'll take a shot at one of them, and if this Shambler here gets a double move again, then he will also be able to attack me, but we'll probably just plan on... Actually, can I Mana Bolt range 3? Well, I can go here, and then 1, 2, 3... Oh, I can just kill this guy. Love it. Perfect. That's the turn I want. The Tinkerer, what are we going to do with you? This guy's theoretically already dead. The Hook Gun does do a range 2 loot, but we need to use a top of the card to move, which we don't have. Generally speaking, bottom of cards move. I'm not sure we can do anything with that. We do have a big move with the Energizing Tonic. I could use it to move over here, and I could consider using a net to immobilize people. I think I like that. Hold on. So what are we going to do? We use Energizing Tonic, the bottom for the move, the net shooter. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to move to here. We're going to net these 2. We'll take a hit from the elite, but it shouldn't kill us. And this guy's going to be dead. And if these guys can't move, we should survive the combat. Big should. Okay, the living corpses are only going to move 1 square. Living bones are going to move. Attack 0. We're not playing on easy difficulty, are we? Yeah, we may as well consume the green stuff because we're not using it for anything else. We're gonna pop this guy. Does that change my looting plans? Because he's dropped some loot here. Well, yeah, actually, I may as well just come here to loot. Because none of these living corpses, they're only going to move 1. So what I'm going to do is I will move to here. Neither one of these are going to be able to reach me. I'll get the XP from using this as well. And then the net shooter... Oh, skip the rest of the movement, thank you. The net shooter, we're going to do this. We'll get 2 XP because it's targeting 2. And it should still stop them from moving. Oh, right. I was like, hey, how come I don't have the goggles? Because this is a different save. There we go. Pick up the gold. Living bones would have moved, except they can't. These guys are going to move a whole 1 and not hit me. And that should be 3 rounds survived. Now the talisman activates and, yeah, turns off the tortoise. Whatever dark magic was reanimating the undead seems to have ceased. seems to cease, and they collapse to the floor. You have survived the undead onslaught and restored peace to the sanctuary. And that's one of the things I like about Gloomhaven, whether we're talking about the digital version or the physical board game, is the scenarios will have a variety of different win conditions. A lot of times it is kill all the things, but plenty of times it's not, especially with scenarios like this where it's literally impossible to kill all the things because they might be constantly, spawning and regenerating. Keep it oak. I cannot express how grateful I am. Truly thank you. With the threat to Sanctuary gone, we can finally resume the restoration of the temple here. It will be sometime before we are ready to resume normal services, but I hope we can be of some help in the future. I bid you farewell. Hang on a second. We did that for free? I thought we were supposed to be looking for a paid job. Oh, never mind. Join a guild, they said. It'll be fun, they said. You'll make heaps of gold. Pfft. Don't mind him. Thanks to you, the temple will reopen in due time, and you will be glad to receive their blessings. Now, the next village we've lost contact with is the Marches. The route is under lockdown after a number of raids from small bands of vermlings camping nearby. I want you to head up north and see if you can drive them out. Oh, and watch out for their hounds. Let these scars across my face be a warning to you. You get up close to those dogs and they'll bite back. All right. Well, we have now streamed Gloomhaven for a couple of hours. We are going to be ending the gameplay here. If you guys did have any more questions about the game, let me know here. After that, we'll be taking a short break and then coming back with some Crusader Kings. But yeah, it's pretty good. Like the gameplay, the combat is so smart, and what's amazing to me, like it works perfectly in the physical version as well as the digital version. There's so many decisions to make in the combat because you have all these cards. Let's say you have your 8 cards, right? It's not just 8 different actions. It's really 16 different actions because of top and bottom. And how do you combine them? And how do you combine them with the action of the other players? And what initiative do you go into because of the order that happens? And then what items are you putting in? Every turn, there's so many decisions to make that then snowball, right? Because you did this round 1, round 2 is going to look like this instead. And I think that the combat is just really, really interesting. So what game modes does it have? Campaign and... So this is not the campaign. This is what's called the Guildmaster Mode. Right here. This is the Guildmaster Mode, which is a campaign in a way. The campaign, the official one, is going to be like the physical version. And it is a truly grandiose thing with tons of unlocks and developments and building up the town and advancing the plot with certain characters. And depending on what missions you do and what happens to those missions, you will unlock certain banners and achievements and sort of tags basically that then have an impact on what other missions you unlock, as well as what options you might have in some of those things. Plus, whenever you travel, you get all these decisions. You get these little events that happen, and you have to choose option A or B or something like that. And then, depending on what you pick, you flip the card over, and then on the back, depending on what you pick, there'll be a result. But what the result will be might depend based on what characters you have in your group, or what achievements you've done, or what your party's reputation is, which is a whole other meter, because you can increase your party's reputation, can go up or go down. The advantage of going up is, the townspeople like you more. You get discounts on things. It's great. Going down, there's a whole other set of things that are happening. Are you a good party or an evil party? And that ties into all kinds of events and things like that happen. And again, we've talked about how you will literally unlock the ability on cards to permanently modify them. I actually don't know if I have an example of these. Oh, these are not my actual, these are not my cards that are in my hand. Those are my spare ones. I think I modified some of my cards in our actual campaign. I'm not sure. I might not have, actually. Oh, no, I wasn't. Because, oh, right! In addition, each character, you get a special personal quest to accomplish, which has a thing. For example, my personal quest is to get a whole bunch of loot. I'm keeping it vague to not spoil things for people, but my personal quest is to get a whole bunch of loot, a bunch of items, and then when I do, I retire my character. Done. That character's done what he wanted in life, because he wanted a bunch of items so he could open a shop. I retire my character, and then I get to unlock a brand new character. A character we weren't allowed to use before. It's got three spears as a symbol, just like this. This has got gears. There's another box that's got 3 spears on it. I have no idea what's inside of that box, but all I know is that when I complete my personal quest in the real life version of the game, I get to unlock that. So that's what you're going to get to look forward to in the campaign. It's just like mind blowing. Your next character is your favorite, Henzu? Oh, And yeah, the surprise element is great. In the box, there's literally a box that says, or a little envelope. It says, open this when you feel like you deserve it. What? What? Anyway, I love Gloomhaven. I've talked about it so much before, and I'm so excited for this digital version. It is, I think it's really well put together. What's amazing, the company behind this is really good. Against the company that was involved in like the Fable games and the movies and stuff like that. The designer of Gloomhaven, the original designer of Gloomhaven, is also working with them with the digital version to make sure that the spirit of the game is there. I think it looks gorgeous. I think it plays beautifully. Can you play the real life version with just 2 players? Yeah, you can play it with just 1 player if you want. So it's the real life version is made for 1 to 4 players. The same thing is true here, 1 to 4 players. And in the campaign, the way it will work is depending on how many heroes you bring to a fight, it sort of scales things based on that. So if you play solo, you can play solo with 1 character, or maybe you'll play solo with 4 characters, you know, and run all 4, whichever one you want to do. You can absolutely do that. We actually, you're not supposed to, but we actually managed to play it with 5 players just fine. As it turned out, because we used an app to help draw cards and things like that, we were able to play a 5-player session. We just boosted the difficulty a little bit, and it worked okay. You wait longer for your turn, but it turns out it functions fine. I mean, the digital version I think will just be 1 to 4, which is the correct way to play it. But yeah. Yes, the physical version is a legacy game. Some things permanently change because you, for example, you're permanently adding stickers to cards, for example. So it does permanently unlock some things. But again, the campaign has 95 missions in the real life version. I think it's supposed to be the same here. There's a lot of gameplay here. A lot of gameplay. I really, again, this is a sponsored video. I really like Gloomhaven. I love the digital version. I like the physical version. And, it might be a while before we can play some of these physical board games again. So, digital, it's perfect. It's beautiful. Da 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 da. Damn, had to buy it on Steam now. Sponsors work sometimes. They do. Like, I'm very happy to be a proponent of this game, a cheerleader for this game. I don't know what the right phrasing is for that, but yeah, I'm really pleased to be on board with this. No hesitation. Enabler? Yeah, that's me. I'm an enabler. I'm a dealer, basically. Guys, watching the stream is free. Next hit's gonna cost you, though. Advocate? Yeah, maybe that would be an influencer. I don't really like that term. It's accurate, but it's gotten muddled with other things, so we'll see how it goes. Quill would have gladly promoted this one. Getting paid is great. Yeah, well, I have actually done a video for Gloomhaven when it first hit early access, and it was really bare bones then. But you could already tell that it was going to be solid. And once they added this Guildmaster mode in here, now we've got this sort of... Guildmaster is a campaign mode. It's not the campaign mode, but it's a campaign mode, and it's pretty strong. And yeah, you can... you also know the level editor. What is this? And yeah, once you're in here, I think if I just hit escape... Oh, so this is still technically... Oh, that's interesting. Technically being considered part of the tutorial. I was okay that I was doing it, because they did ask me like don't do the tutorial. But again, when we started, we hit like I skipped the full tutorial. I went to story intro, and I think I agree. The story intro was a lot of fun, right? I think it was pretty solid. If we go to full quick start over here, I guess I had a game going on already. Oh my God, you can hit L to show line of sight. I just noticed that tooltip. That's handy. There you go. You can hit multiplayer and host a session. Boom, done. And there you go. You're online, and the easiest way to do it, join session. So when you host a thing, you get a code, send it to your friend, they type it in here, boom, multiplayer. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I'm betting, I know that there's an official Discord for this. I don't actually have a link for it. Oh, it's probably on the Steam page. Check the Steam page or the Steam discussion group. There's an official Discord for this. Hang out, meet other people if you don't have a group to play with. If you don't have any friends, make some new ones. Play Gloomhaven with them. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. All right, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a short break. I'm gonna get myself a new beverage, and we're going to come back for some Crusader Kings. Crusader Kings, somewhat less wholesome than Gloomhaven, but hopefully you'll stick around with that as well. Need schematics for friends. You're going to build your own friends? Friends are a type of Pokemon, right? You know, if you don't have any, the easy thing to do, start streaming. I made lots of friends since I started being on YouTube and Twitch. All right, folks, short break. We'll come back with some Crusader Kings. I hope you enjoyed Gloomhaven, and I really do encourage you to check it out. Again, currently, Gloomhaven, the digital version, is in early access. Obviously, not everything planned for the game is in there yet. I think there's already a lot of gameplay value in there. And you can check out the roadmap on the Steam page for their plans for the next couple updates, as well as the full release, which is when the campaign's going to be around. Again, it's on sale, 32% off for the next couple of days. And it's so cheap, actually. I have to admit, I think they've underpriced this game. I think it's too late for that now. They're screwed. I think they've underpriced this, but good for us. All right, see you in a few. Be right back.